is our top 10, the North Shore Schools Foundation top 10 thank yous. Today is Give Big, and if you have ever donated money to anyone in the Pacific Northwest, you probably know that today is Give Big, and that is a day that, because our community is so generous, the Seattle Foundation partners with all the nonprofits to say, hey, we want to encourage people to give. So if you've ever given before, you probably have 1,000 emails, and we appreciate you, and that is a really wonderful thing. But we are here to not ask you to give. We're here to ask just to give big thanks, because our community has been so amazing over the last year. So we just want to take a second and say thank you. If you do not know what Give Big is, and if you're not getting an email, I encourage you to look it up, because it's actually made for you to find a charity and to make a difference. And there happens to be a ton of matching dollars that they offer organizations like us. Any donation that comes in this next 2 days, so Give Big is May 4th and May 5th, we will match out of our Ignite Fund too. So it's a double match. So it's a great time to find out more about Give Big. But let's turn to more important things, like, did you know that today is Teacher Appreciation Day? Like, that's like the whole reason we exist, is to support our teachers and to try to encourage them and inspire them. And that's why so many people like you support us, so that we can do that. So I want to thank you for being part of helping our teachers, and thank our teachers. There is no one on earth that ever expected this last 16 months. You have gone above and beyond. You went above and beyond before this happened, and our teachers continue to show up. And by teachers, I also mean our staff, our administrators. Everybody is working their tail off to try to have the best experience for your kids, because they love them. It's been so sad over the last year to talk to educators and hear how heartbroken they are, because the best part of what they love hasn't been happening, because they haven't been able to be with kids. So it's fun to see them back in person when they get to, and I'm just grateful. So teachers, happy Teacher Appreciation Day. We appreciate you. It is also May the 4th, like May the 4th be with you, which is just a cool day. I think it's a cool day. So if you happen to be a Star Wars fan, May the 4th is finally here today. Okay, all that aside, let's go to what's important. Today, it's the top 10 thank yous. So the first and number 10, they're really not numbered in a way that matters, but the first one that I want to say thank you to is our Career Day volunteers. This happened out of the blue. If you happen to have a middle schooler, you might know that the North Shore Schools Foundation worked with PTA volunteers and created a district-wide career day. And that was coordinated all by volunteers. So our volunteer Build Skills for Life person, Mary Drews, worked with volunteers from the PTA to ask people to volunteer to talk about their career. And we had volunteer room people. So literally, there's about 400 people, volunteers, involved in this project. It was insane, and we so love it, because we serve 4,000 kids, almost 5,000. So when you are thinking about making a difference, these people gave up there one morning, and they taught and showed the value of service. They showed the value of all the different careers that are out there. We're really passionate at the foundation to make sure that kids have access to new ideas, because we don't know what kids are going to fall in love with. So the more people we can expose them to, the more experiences we can expose them to, we know that that might help them along their way to be more motivated to do their schoolwork or whatever. So if you took time, and actually some of the volunteers for Career Day, bless their souls, it was a Zoom adventure. So some of them didn't even get in, and that's even heartbreaking. So when you want to give and you can't quite get there, that's sad. So I want to say thank you to them also, and we are going to call on you again. We appreciate you being out there for our kids and being a representative. And I also want to do a quick shout out. There was a bunch of high school kids that jumped on to support me, to monitor chat, and to talk about their groups in high school. That was really fun to see their involvement. So thank you, volunteers. Thank you for Career Day. Okay, number 2, or 9, I'm not sure how to count them. Career Day, not Career Day, I just did that. Care teams. Care teams are relatively new as a district-wide phenomenon, but this year we worked with the school district to identify or beg for a volunteer from each school staff to be the liaison to the foundation, so that we could better serve those members our students and our teachers to find out what they needed with the removing barriers funding, the opportunity funding, the basic needs aid funding, school supplies, things like that. So I want to say a special thank you to the career day lead, oh my gosh, they have the same letters, career, care, if you know me, that's hard on me. The care teams. So there's a lead, and then there's also just a whole crew of people from each school that say, we are a place that if students need help, you can find us, and then they connect with the care team lead. So I want to say thank you for those of you who went above and beyond to do that with your extra free time to support our families. It is so valuable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. We just want to give you big thanks. Okay, I'm gonna say 8. I guess I'm gonna be at 8. Number 8, I want to talk about our book scholars. I'm saying book scholars because we didn't know until students went home how many people really, really, really cared about books. Or maybe we did and we just never talked about it. So if you love books, and my mom is one of them, if you love books, I want to say thank you to you. There are people who went out of their way. They cleaned out their rooms and they got books and they gave them to a crazy group of volunteers that include Sandy Hayes and said, hey, let's get in it so that those books could end up in the hands of students who need them. I believe the number is like 20,000 books moved. And that here's what it took. It took people going through their stuff that they've already collected books and they loved books, and then they brought them and gave them to a group of people who went through them and sorted them and made them match what kids wanted. And then it took some delivery, and it just took a lot of people. And we've also seen our librarians figure out how to open their libraries early. So if you are a book lover, I just want to say thank you to you. And that leads me actually into the next thing, because in the face of COVID, volunteering has really changed. And so we saw some untraditional deliverers. So in another time, you might come and volunteer for the Backpacks for Kids program or the school supplies program and put things together. But mostly, if you've been volunteering with the foundation, you have been picking things up and delivering them. So thank you to everybody who picked up books and delivered them, school supplies and delivered them. Thank you for the team of people who worked directly with the district, which we didn't do anything for, but thank you for the people who worked for food delivery, all the interesting things. I like to call them the unconventional deliverers. It makes a huge difference to get that stuff in the hands of kids, especially when they're not all coming into the schools. I think we've learned a lot about how schools are our hubs, and it's when we can touch kids there, then we can spread things out. But when we can't get them in the schools, it takes a little bit more work. So thank you so much for being unconventional deliverers. Okay. Number 6. I want to say thank you to the All In for Kids Volunteer Committee. We had a large event. If you didn't know, you can watch it all over again. That raised $235,000 to support our efforts, which means the world to us and keeps us open and make sure that we're going to be here next year, which I love. And there's a group of volunteers that organized that. You know who you are, under the leadership of Diana Berger. And then there was a group of people who actually got people to attend, our table hosts. That was amazing. And just it takes a village to make that event happen. We were able to be viewed by about 500 people, and that could never happen without the volunteer team. So thank you, All In for Kids volunteer committee leadership team, and to our table hosts. We really appreciate you. And of course, an extra thank you to Evergreen Church, who produced it. Amazing. Number 5, of course, I want to say thank you to our donors. There are so many of you who have made the foundation part of your giving story, and I want to say a couple thank yous to some really big deals. Some of you made a decision this year to make your very first donation to the North Shore Schools Foundation, and that's really scary. Like, you just decide to send your money out somewhere and you hope that they do good with it, and we are really, really grateful. And we want to give really big thanks that you trusted us, that you took a chance to support us. So if this was your first year of writing a check to the foundation or making an online donation, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting all the work we do. And then there's another interesting group of people who actually give through their work. So they talk to their work, and out of their check comes a donation to us that comes to us. That's like above and beyond. Like, you were thinking of us while you were at work. Thank you so much. That is money that makes sure that we operate year round, because it's usually a regular donation. Thank you for letting your company know about the work we do. It makes a big difference. So we appreciate our workplace givers and our recurring givers. Many of you say, well, I don't want to do a big check, but I can do $20 a month or $10 a month. And they use our online giving platform to do that. thank you too. Like, thanks for making us part of your every month. Like, we show up in your checkbook every month and you think, huh, is that still important to me? And hopefully you say yes. Thank you for that. I want to thank our 365 donors. That's really, really fun. People who just get involved with us, $1 a day. You can do it, you can pay any way you want, but it's fun to have them. That's a population for us that continues to grow. And thank you to our Ignite givers, which are longtime donors of ours who've actually created an Ignite match fund, which allows us to allows us to match your donations during different times. So we were able to match donations at the All In for Kids event in April, and then actually today, if you decide to give either through the Give Big portal or just through straight to the foundation, those donations will be 100% matched. So thank you for that. Thank you, Ignite donors. So thank you, donors. Thanks for making all of our mission possible. It means a lot. Okay, what else? Oh, and also North Shore Gives projects. Super weird too. We're starting to get a bigger following around that. And we had a ton of you who took advantage of teachers asking for our specific projects, or even the senior classes this year did some fundraisers to be able to pay to have the experiences they wanted to have with their seniors. And many of you just made a chance and donated there. So thank you. Okay, number four is our ambassadors. Oh my goodness. This is a group of people. There's at least one at every school. I think we almost have every school handled now. And if you're interested, definitely call me, or Summer. Summer is our volunteer lead for the ambassadors, so thank you for her service. And ambassadors serve at each school to make sure that teachers know that they can ask for money. They make sure teachers know about all the programs that we're offering, and they also make sure that parents from that school know about the fundraiser that we're doing, and also the impact of the things that we're funding at their school. So many times we just send a check away and maybe people don't know, but with the help of ambassadors, they're like, hey, if you go to the school, by the way, they just did this in this classroom, or paid for this field trip, or just kind of help spread the word. And ambassadors give their time mostly electronically. We meet once a month, kind of optionally. It's been really fun to meet some of you. So thank you so much. You are the life arms of our foundation. And that leads us into kind of our leadership. So there's a really big group of volunteers that I can't say thank you to enough, and that is our board. I get to stand up in front a lot. Our board is an amazing group of people. They volunteer their time. It's them that comes up with a strategic plan. It's them that says, let's go in this direction. And then I get to play around with my staff team and all of you to see, okay, how can we make it happen? They put in time, they use their brain power, and they're out there helping to share our story. And so if you are a member of my board, thank you so very much. Board membership is a 3-year commitment, up to renewable up to 2 times, I guess, so up to 9 years. And you wouldn't believe it. It's true. Christina Phillips of, I think we're at Woodinville High School now. We just had to term her out. She's been served for so long. So thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thanks to our board members and who've served in the past and are serving now. And then a new part of leadership is our Youth Advisory Board. Youth Advisory Board, first year out, I think we've got a lot of things that we can do that are going to make it better, but we did an application process for sophomores and juniors to be a part of our board. We have our last meeting this week, and then we'll kind of be recruiting for the next year. So thank you for providing perspective. It was their help that we ended up doing Youth Voice, we had to change the name, but to ask opinions of students so we could figure out what information they really need. They provide a lot of direction for us because we get real excited about something and they're like, yeah, that doesn't really make a difference. I love having their perspective. They make me it helps us keep in touch with what's really important, which really is the students. So I'm really grateful for all of them. And then number 2, if you happen to serve on any committee, I'm thankful for you. We've got an amazing endowment committee. Endowment is not always a sexy thing, but it is also very sexy. An endowment is something that keeps our foundation alive no matter what. And I have a group of about 6 people who meet and plan events and help raise awareness about our endowment. I thank them so much for making sure that this foundation will be sustainable and be present in the future. I want to thank our finance committee. There are people that meet once a month and dig through the books with me and make sure that we're transparent and that things add up and ask great questions and make us a great, great organization. It fills my soul very much. Of course, there's committees for Build Skills for Life. There's a group of people who support the events we already talked about. So there's a lot of different ways. We're just about starting another marketing committee. So there's things to get involved with there. We really, really appreciate it. and of course our grant readers. So when teachers submit a grant to the foundation, that's reviewed by a volunteer committee of our grant readers, and we could not do it without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Boom, 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 boom. So that was all. That was 9. So the number one, of course, thank you that we have, the really give big, give big thank you, is for you. I mean, the fact that you are tuning in, that you support us, that you track us, that you're finding out about us, you're participating with us, that is who we are. We are you. We represent you. We're all about making your vision happen. We're about amplifying the work of our school district, being a positive force, knowing good intent, using our powers for good everywhere we can, and that is a reflection of you. You are that person, and I am very, very grateful. So I want to wish you a great Teacher Appreciation Day, a great May the 4th, and May the 4th be with you, and of course, a very, very, very happy Give Big Day, and please know that we are giving big thanks for you.